So these 5 tricks right over here is what we're going to talk about, and any beginner can do them. Obviously, you don't want to start off straight away with back roll if you can't even do a jump. But if you follow the progression and follow these tricks in order, you're definitely going to get to the back roll within a short period of time. These tricks form a perfect basis to build up on and do all the other tricks that you've seen in the video just before. So, if you want to skip to a certain part of this video, just check down in the timeline. You'll see a time code with all the tricks described. Let's start off with the first one, riding toeside.
Ride in with medium speed and extend your back leg so the fin starts sliding. Shift your weight onto the new back leg. Lean on your toes and keep a crosswind course by twisting your shoulders towards the wind. Ride in with medium speed and keep your kite around 45 degrees. Steer the kite up towards 11 so it lifts you a little and slide the board to toe side. Dive the kite down in the wind window to gain the speed you just lost and keep riding with the bar down for power, unless you are overpowered. You can park the kite when you have enough speed.
There are a few things to keep in mind when riding toeside. You want to ride on a crosswind course. If you ride too far downwind, it's going to be very hard to keep your speed and not sink down into the water. This is because you're riding with the wind, you're losing power in the kite. So, stay on a crosswind course by putting pressure on your toes and leaning forward a little bit and therefore edging. Next to that, you want to make sure that when you switch from a heel side to a toe side, that you shift your weight onto your new back foot. Next to that, keep a little bit of pressure on your heels so you don't catch that front side edge. Next up, we're going to spice up the entry into toe side a little bit. And this is a pop into toe side.
Ride in with medium speed at a crosswind course. Search for a small kicker and twist your shoulders towards the wind as you pop off the water. It helps when you let go with your front hand. Land with the board towards the riding direction and steer towards a crosswind course to continue riding toe side. The kite steering is very similar to the previous exercise. When you're powered enough, you can keep your kite steady like this video. If you need more power or lift, you can steer it up towards 11.
If you're having trouble to make the full 180 after the pop, it really helps if you let go with the front hand just after you left the water. This opens up your shoulders and makes it easier to do that twist. Next to that, it helps if you try and find a little kicker to just get that little bit of extra height to do the 180. This trip was filmed in the Caribbean during a kite cruise that I did together with Charter and Sail. As I've enjoyed the experience so much, we decided to offer this 10-day kite cruise to you. Next to kiting in unique spots with super blue water, trade winds, and just a unique view, I'll be teaching during the entire trip. 15 hours worth of SA Masterclass is included, and we're going to make it awesome. We'll lay the foundations for you to continue progressing and work on those tricks that you always wanted to do. If you want more info, go check the link up there or read it down in the description. I've also done a full trip video that you can also find on my YouTube. Check it down there. You're not going to regret it. But first, let's have a look at that classic jump.
Ride in with medium speed at a crosswind course and keep your kite around 45 degrees. Slowly steer your kite up towards 12:30 and start edging to the wind. Try to take off from the water just before the kite hits 12. I'm a little bit too late here. As you reach the apex from your jump, it's time to redirect the kite towards your riding direction. Try to keep the bar down during the entire jump so you get maximum lift. Sheeting out is only important when your jumps become 8 meter plus. Keep your bar around medium power while you carve the board towards the wind and pop out of the water by pulling your bar down. Keep the bar down during the entire jump and redirect the kite after you reach the apex of your jump. Point your board downwind for the landing and edge back towards a crosswind course. Steer your kite back to 45 degrees and continue riding.
There are 3 points that I think you should keep in mind when doing this classic jump. First of all, take off on a 45-degree angle towards the wind. This will help and generate apparent wind, which will result in extra lift. If you would just ride on a crosswind course and jump, all that's going to happen is you're going to jump far, you're going to have a hard landing, and that's not what we want. We want to go high. So make sure you carve an edge towards the wind to get that result. Next to that, you'll find most lift when your kite passes 12. So, very important, make sure that your kite passes 12 while you're in the air. This means take off just before it reaches 12. This is either 11:30 or 12:30, depending on the side to which you ride. And then last, you want to get your center of gravity as close to the water as possible, behind the board, because this means you can really dig in those heels and edge upwind. How do you do this? It's very simple. Just get your bum close to the water, and this will help you to load up that board and load up your lines for those super high jumps. Well, when you have those dialed in, then we can start on the next one, and that is a hooked railey. If you want to learn how to pop without sending your kite past 12, this is a really good way to do it. It's going to help your popping, it's going to help your loading, and for me, it's a very important aspect of kiteboarding.
Ride in with medium to high speed at a crosswind course and keep your kite around 45 degrees. Carve the board towards the wind to build up line tension and swing it back as you pop off the water. Tension up your stomach muscles to bring the board underneath you for the landing and continue riding on a crosswind course. Ride in with medium to high speed at a crosswind course and keep your kite around 45 degrees. Steer the kite up towards 11 so you get a bit of lift and carve hard to build up line tension. Steer the kite back down to 10 as you pop off the water with the bar all the way down. With bigger kites and in low wind conditions, you need to steer a bit more to get the power. On smaller kites in powered conditions, you can pretty much leave your kite at 45 degrees.
If you want to do high hooked railies, it's very important that you enter with speed. If you don't ride fast enough, you will not have the speed or the power to generate enough pop and actually get that board back underneath you. And that's going to result in a face plant. Not what we want. So, ride in with speed to generate loads of pop. Next to that, you really want to tension up those stomach muscles. When you're fully stretched out, it's important that you tension up your stomach muscles so you can get that board underneath you. Otherwise, again, belly flop, not so nice. And then last, but certainly not least, is don't send your kite past 12. This is a power trick, and we want to get all the height out of the pop. So that means you can send your kite up a little bit towards 11 or towards 1, which is on the other side, but do not send it past 12. That's a very important one. If you got this one dialed and you got some nice high railies, we're gonna spice it up and do a powered back roll.
Ride in with medium speed and carve hard towards the wind as you steer your kite up to 11. Look over your front shoulder as you pop off the water, steer the kite back to 10 and try to spot your landing. Extend or retract your legs to slow down or speed up your rotation. Continue riding on a crosswind course. Ride in with the kite at 45 degrees and steer it up towards 11 as you carve into the wind. Pull the bar down as you pop off the water and steer the kite back towards 10. The higher you steer your kite for the back roll, the more time you will spend in the air and the slower you will need to rotate on your takeoff.
Personally, I think head movement is one of the key points to landing any rotation. This means front roll and back roll alike. If you move your head, your body is going to follow, and if you're getting stuck in a rotation, most likely it's because you didn't look into the rotation. So, in the case of the back roll, look over your front shoulder and keep on looking until you spot that landing. Often I see that people move their kite over to the wrong side if they do a back roll. This is very normal. If you do a back roll, and especially in the beginning, you want to pull yourself through a back roll, and that means you're pulling on that back hand. This can end up in a kite loop or just an over rotation, but it's not really something we want. So instead of having our hands all the way out here, make sure you have your hands in the middle of the bar. Now, let's say you got this back roll down, don't think you're done yet, because there are so many back rolls you can do. I made a full video on back roll variations that I think you'll really enjoy, maybe after a bit of practice, but eventually you're really going to enjoy, because it's not that hard. It's all about the head movement. Dive down, look up, there's so many options. If you've enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, that's really going to help me out. Next to that, you can comment if you have any questions and subscribe to stay updated with the latest content. I have an entire list of videos coming out next, so I think you'll want to follow. Hope to see you on the next one. Don't forget to look at that kite trip and enjoy your lovely day. Cheers!